What's up? Tyler from Plugged On. I'm here with an album review, this time the highly anticipated album from the band Wintersun, entitled The Forest Seasons. This came out on Nuclear Blast Records. The Forest Season is Wintersun's third album in their very long fucking career at this point. Wintersun, you could call them extreme power metal. You can call them whatever the fuck you want. They have a lot of symphonic elements, folk elements. Wintersun's a band that's great at creating a fucking shitload of hype. They just absolutely are. But I adore this band. I adore the two albums that we have gotten from them, previously. I think their debut was just a magical fucking record. Time One is fantastic as well, and so I am always looking forward to what they do next, and it almost feels like a treat whenever we get a new album from them, and it's almost unfortunate how much time it takes in between albums. So this album too was, it was kind of held hostage in a weird way to get them to crowdfund a lot of money so they can build a studio. So we'll see on that. Hopefully, if the output isn't greater, either they turn albums around sooner, or when we get them, they're just fucking mind-blowing. I think a lot of people are going to potentially be upset, but who knows? That's besides the point. The Four Seasons, how good is it? I like it. I do. But it is a different album for Wintersun, in my opinion. To me, this album sacrifices the riffs in favor of more just rhythms and atmosphere, basically. Their first album especially is just a fucking riff fest, and the riffs are phenomenal on that fucking album. Time One had some fantastic riffs as well. Sons of Winter and Stars is a standout one track for riffs, in my opinion. And then I love the opening riff to Time. It's just fucking good shit. I'm not saying there are no riffs on here, but they definitely don't stand out to me as much as they have with past Wintersun albums. What does stand out is that this album is very atmospheric, with the guitar work and everything, really. And it's not as big of an album as Time is in terms of production. You listen to Sons of Winter and Stars, the first real track off of Time One, it's like, holy shit, there's like 12 fucking million things going on. There is that on here, but not to that scale, in my opinion. But what I like is them taking, a bigger sound and applying it to just a different feeling with almost every track. I think that's a really cool thing. There's some really fucking standout, incredible moments on this album, in my opinion. Awaken from the Dark Slumber, the track that opens up Spring, basically. I like when the band kicks in. I love the drum beat going along with the guitar work there. I love Yari's harsh vocals during all that stuff, and then I love how Wintersun, they will do a chorus one time, and then if they come back to it later in the song, they'll do it differently, and that's a great example on Awaken from the Dark Slumber. Sons of Winter and Stars from Time One is a fantastic example of that, where one chorus is Yari just screaming, and the next one they come back and it's just choir type of thing, and Awaken from the Dark Slumber is that. And I like how it gets to just some really fucking heavy, fantastic riffs during Awaken from the Dark Slumber. It's a great song. Then you get to The Forest That Weeps, which might be one of my favorite tracks, or more of a standout, mostly because of the middle section. You get about 6 or 7 minutes in, I believe. All these songs, there is not one shorter than 12 minutes, so you're just getting 4 tracks, 54 minutes of music. They take you on a ride. But it's about 6 or 7 minutes in, the band, everything builds back up. The band kicks in with a fucking really awesome rhythm that has a lot of energy to it and a fucking fantastic lead over top of it. And it's like moments like that where I just go, yes, like Winter, I love when Wintersun does this stuff, and it's just fantastic. And I think that whole song is pretty damn solid. Eternal Darkness is the song that I still don't know how to feel about it, in my opinion. It's definitely the most, like, kind of evil sounding one. It's definitely the hardest one to get into. It doesn't fully stand out to me as much, but there are some good moments. It's a very blast beat heavy song. Not that the blast beats are fucking mind blowing, but, hey, I can't do a blast beat. And it goes, there's the blast beats last for a very long time in this song. I'm sure stamina wise and everything, that's very difficult to do. And, I kind of like the blast beat there. I thought it was cool. And then this is the one song to me that, really has the only guitar solo for the most part that really stands out on this album. And I love Wintersun guitar solos. I mean, let me just fucking tell you. Death in Healing is a fucking incredible solo. But I'm just throwing it out there that the solo for Time is one of my favorite solos ever and one of the best solos fucking of all time. I'm just throwing it out there. Anybody can fucking fight me if they want. But listen to that solo. It's incredible every time. Sometimes I just have to throw on just that solo for the day, and then I'm okay. Anyways, but the solo on here is pretty good. I mean, it's got nice shreddy parts. It's got some very interesting notes, I will say, that, is strummed on the guitar. I like that. I wish there was a little bit more guitar solo work on here, for sure. And then to close out the album, you have Loneliness, Winter, which is a slower track, but honestly might be my favorite on here, just because I love the atmosphere. I love Yari's vocals, clean vocals during the chorus. It just gives me incredible vibes the whole way through. And honestly, the first listen through on this album, that's the track that hit me the most, of just like, wow, I'm just very much enjoying this. And I love the, the kind of melodic guitars and the way everything comes together there. I love the final chorus and everything. It's a fantastic way to end this album, in my opinion. Overall, I do think, like I said, it is a little bit different of an album for Wintersun, but I do think it's good, but it's not my favorite Wintersun album. I'm not going to say, it could be my favorite in a year, or if I just constantly listen to it. I've listened to their first two albums, as many of you out there probably have, 1,000 fucking times. It's going to take 1,000 listens of this one to really truly get my feeling on it, but after many listens, this is how I'm feeling right now, and I enjoy it. It makes me happy. It's good to have new Wintersun music, and yeah, their whole crowdfunding campaign might piss you off or whatever, and yeah, it kind of pissed me off too, but I enjoy this. I did not, just throwing it out there, I did not contribute to their crowdfunding at all. I just bought this straight from Nuclear Blast, so did not contribute to that at all. But yeah, it's got good moments on it, some solid guitar riffs. Actually, the one last thing I'm going to throw out is that I want to listen to it more to really have it come in how I determine how I really feel about it, is the production. The production's not bad. There is, a lot of stuff going on and everything, but I feel at times the guitars really take a back seat and the drums are very fucking prominent. That is the one thing that stood out to me production-wise, where I was just like, that could just be me. And I did listen to this album in many different, systems. In my car, my stereo, I've listened to it in a lot of places, and every time that stood out to me. But maybe it's just my ears determining stuff. But yeah, it doesn't have as much going on as Time One. It doesn't have as many riffs as their debut album. It kind of falls, kind of somewhere in the middle with that stuff, but it does create a lot of atmosphere. It does have a lot of great moments. Great vocal performance from Yari. Hopefully, we'll get new albums a lot quicker. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. Check out Wintersun's The Forest Season. Thanks for watching. See you.